Yo,
Hey, what's up?
hey, one sec, let me turn up your volume a little tiny bit. Say something?
Hello, hello,
Hey,
hello.
okay,
Hello?
cool. I think we're good. Okay, cool. How's it going?
Oh, pretty good.
Yeah,
Sleepy,
life. Okay.
sleepy, sleepy to be honest, yeah. But yeah,
Okay, could you maybe
the
do a
usual.
quick intro for the chat? Just where you're from, how long you've been playing, goals for the game?
Yeah. So my name is Vino. My tag is Vino.
Oh.
Not to be confused with East Coast Marth Vino, New York Vino.
Mm-hmm.
I'm West Coast Vino. I've been playing for a long time on and off. So played for a few years, stopped for a few years, played for a few years, stopped for a few years since 2005. So hella old
Okay.
school. Always played Puff. Um, since she was ranked below Dr. Mario on the tier list. So I'm a diehard Puff player.
I see, okay. I'll keep that
Um,
in mind.
Yeah. Um, for goals, nothing too crazy. Um, I just want to do better at nationals. I seem to get 65th and miss top 64 at every single national. When I used to play, I took like a few years off recently, maybe 2.5 years, right before, maybe
Mm-hmm.
a year before the pandemic. I kind of just stopped, and then luckily the pandemic hit, so I didn't miss much anyways. But yeah, kind of just always lose to Fox.
Uh-huh.
So
Okay.
I'm trying to fix that. Yeah,
Okay. We can check it out. The screen share is working, right?
yeah, I can see it.
Okay, great. Okay. Look, it's back open. Okay. So, do you have any particular thoughts on this set, or like the matchup of like what's bothering you, or?
Um, I watched it. I don't remember too many details. I think something I do in a lot of my matches or games is I go in with a plan of what to do and what not to do, and then I kind of start playing and everything goes to shit.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of end up just back airing randomly in random parts of the stage that I think are safe,
Mm-hmm.
that don't really get me anything, and then I get punished for it. That's kind of a common theme I've noticed, not just in this match, but in all my matches. So I'm trying to improve on that. Um, Other than that, I think I miss a couple key grabs, and in the second game, I miss a key edge guard, like three key edge guards in a row. Those are the key moments I can remember, but other than
Mm-hmm.
that,
Okay.
yeah,
All right. Let's take a look.
sure.
Okay. Good stock. Okay.
Also, I do that a lot. I don't know if that's any good, but I'll be on the side of the stage and I'll just try to like bear my way back in.
Doing
Sometimes it
like
works out.
this type of thing.
Yeah, just like,
Yeah. I mean, you're. It's basically like a dash dance here. Fox
mhm.
doesn't have any like really clean punishes in that position, so I don't think it's bad at all. Okay.
That's a key grab
Okay,
I
yes. It's
missed.
okay, so far it all looked great until you were in
Mhm.
a disadvantaged state. And then
Mhm.
basically like the rest of the stock is like kind of like wasted in a lot of ways.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
So it's like like right here, your goal and it looks almost like you want to get something when you're coming
Mhm.
back. Like the match
Mhm.
is kind of still going, and it's just like you're really not gonna get a lot out of this position. A lot of times, your goal should be to get kind of to like a comfortable position, maybe on like the inner edge or the middle of like the other side platform. You know, with Fox
Mhm.
not directly underneath you. Um, so I think you have opportunities here to do stuff like kind of go closer to the top plat, maybe even like, either wave land off of it or land for a second and then kind of get back up in the air. But basically, it almost looks like you like it's like almost like you keep cornering yourself because like you have a chance to kind of drift closer to center here, and you go back to the corner, but like, what are you really gonna get out of that?
Right.
Like a lot of times when a character like Peach will recover against Fox, she will literally float like up here. I'm sure you've seen this. She'll float like all the way here, because that way she doesn't have to worry about like this whole corner edge thing. And Puff is definitely better off the ledge and in the corner than Peach, like obviously. But like she still has a little bit of that floaty problem where she can't like quickly drop double jump from ledge and be on the platform or anything like that. So like coming down in this position, and especially being in a spot here where like Fox can like fall on you, like you could have gotten dropped on right here, and it's just basically, if you look at it from like, okay, you're here, this is like not that bad of a position. You have to get back to the stage eventually, but it's not that bad. And then they didn't really do anything to you, and then you kind of put yourself here, and so this is just, there's just no reason to really put yourself into that spot. And then you kind of do it like 2 or 3 more times where it's like the kind of random fair from the edge. And then you get back, you recover high. Like if you just kept drifting this way, like Fox can't really reach you from here. Like Fox can do like a full hop up air and that'll hit maybe here at max. So if you just go over the top, Fox doesn't really have like a clean option to get like from here to this side plat. Fox can like drop and then jump back up or whatever, but Puff is really fast in the air. So like and that's part of why FD is kind of so powerful for Fox, is because whenever Puff is above the stage, she doesn't get to just like go over Fox and then end up on a platform to refresh her jumps. Right. She's kind of forced to either go to the ledge or come down somewhere on the middle of the stage where Fox can just dash around here in this range back and forth like forever. So that's just one note that kept repeating. Like, so you kind of just
don't try to force it. Just reset neutral.
Yeah, because you kind of had to do a little bit of an outplay here to make it back to like this horrible corner position that you hate.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I love the ledge. I think that's why I'm like just trying to go back to the ledge, because I think it's safe, but I think, it's not safe.
Yeah, it's not particularly good, mostly because you don't have any threats in that position. Like when I'm Fox, and I like to do a lot of like, if let's say I'm like kind of here on the stage, and Puff will like back air me or like she'll do something on my shield. I really like to shine at a shield and just send her to the edge. Just because Fox has a really strong corner pressure on Jigglypuff. She just has a lot of trouble. She doesn't have like a Fox ledge dash or something that reaches like here. She has she can get off the ledge, but she has trouble getting out of the corner. So you just really like, your goal should be like, okay, I want to get out of this situation where I'm here and Fox is like dropping stuff on me. And you sort of keep like intentionally recreating that, Okay. Okay, so this is something that I talk about in this matchup a lot. I would even go as far to say this is the most important piece of this entire matchup, literally, is specifically playing off of this corner. This is your home in this matchup, is specifically right here. And when you're being extra defensive, maybe right here, like this edge. But this is like, without this little like edge of the platform here, you will be stuck in the corner forever. Like against every Fox ever. The reason why this spot is so powerful is, first of all, if you're jumping above the platform, you get your jumps back. So that's one nice thing. And second of all, is if you waveland, or let's say you waveland off, you can immediately reverse your drift, like waveland off, up air here, get the aerial drift reverse, and then you can drop all the way back to like here. So you can cover like from here to like here with just maybe it's even a little further. It's like here with like your back air. So wave landing off gives you access to, like, you could be throwing out an up air or like some kind of move anywhere in this area, and then you combine it with waveland off rising pound right here, which slightly extends your range. So what this gives you the ability to do is it allows you to, like, contest this area of the stage. Because otherwise, if you're here and Fox is walling his back airs here, your options are like, okay, I can kind of try to short hop approach here, I guess, into the back air. I can full hop and then be kind of stuck on the platform and Fox is kind of coming up from underneath. It feels kind of awkward. But with this little edge of the platform here, it suddenly opens up, like, so it's like a very quick way to go from this position to anywhere in here. And Fox, a lot of times it'll end up with you being able to, like, wave land off and push Fox, like, into the corner out, right, like, while he's dashing away from your drift. And then you can get that mix up where he dashes away to dodge the back air, and then you get your side B here. That is, like, the most important piece of this matchup on pretty much every stage that's not FD.
Interesting. Okay, yeah, I never really think about, to be honest, using the platforms much to, like, I mostly think of them as a way, like a defensive thing, kind of like when I'm around 60, 70 and I don't want to get grabbed. I usually use them more in that way, but I don't really use them to, like, and obviously also, like, tech chase rest and all of that, but didn't really think about using that ledge to kind of give me those options to cover those areas.
And it's also just really useful when you're at high percent to sort of use a similar concept with the outer edge of the platform, just because you can get your jumps back really easily and avoid Fox, you know, hitting you. Like, a lot of times when you're trying to avoid getting killed against Fox, I think you should mostly be using the two edges of the platform to, like, avoid that position. So, let's see. So, okay, so you die here. How do you die again? Just from that. Okay. So that was from the cornering stuff, and then this stock, I think I noticed it right after the invincibility. It was right here. So Fox is holding this space. So it's interesting because Puff has, like, a major weakness that is relevant against all the top tier. It's like a huge weakness for her character, that she has limited options in the air, in the sense that she can't quickly modulate kind of like her falling and rising. So she has a lot of issues where you're like, okay, I'm gonna come in with my aerial here, and then it's not the right time or the right place, and so you have to double jump. But when you double jump, the enemy gets this, like, instant, like, relief of, like, you double jump and they're just like, oh, like, I get, like, a whole, like, basically like a full second before Puff can fall on me again, especially when it's, like, your first double jump, so it's really big. You know, the later double jumps, maybe not so much. Those are a little bit better at sneaking in. But the early double jump is, like, when you use it, it's like, boom, and then you come down, you know? And so this inner edge of the platform is so important because you can completely cancel that issue. You can, like, from this position as Puff, out of this full hop, your options are to either, you know, use a normal full hop, like either full hop and then land with an aerial, or you can do full hop, full double jump and move around, or you can do full hop, wave land down, or like full hop, double jump, wave land down, or you can do full hop, double jump, wave land off the platform. So being able to be like, jump, jump, wave land, or jump, jump, wave land, or, you know, jump, wave dash down, jump, wave dash down, and having those timing mix-ups, it makes Puff, like, so much scarier in her ability to, like, move around. And so there's, like, a position, like, right here, and I'm not telling you should have hit this, but definitely, like, there are ways right here for you to, like, full hop like you did, and then double jump waveland here and sort of get maybe, like, not necessarily a hit, but you can double jump waveland and you're already kind of pressuring Fox and you can, like, wave dash back here. You see what I'm saying there?
Yeah, just still kind of threaten that area.
Yeah, it maybe if he had a slightly different positioning, you could have, you know, double jumped waveland and then be right on top of him and get, like, an opening or something like that.
Right.
So just like the ability to cancel her pause between her like normal full hop attack and her full hop into double jump into like weight attack, and being able to like, okay, now out of my full hop I have like a bunch of mix-ups where I can either, you know, drop on you or have a slight delay drop on you. This is the same thing that Fox gets with like either full hop late back air or full hop waveland back air, you know? So it gives her access to these timing mix-ups that the other top tiers get a little bit more liberally or more often because they have their big double jumps moving around the stage everywhere.
Got it.
So yeah, and it really stood out to me in this sort of motion here, where you're like, you're moving around this area and Fox is lasering here, where like from this position, if you do wave dash off, Fox can no longer comfortably laser at this range.
Right.
And so you feel a little bit stuck in that spot, and this whole thing is like screaming, like this full hop drip back is like screaming for a waveland off of this.
Yeah.
Because it threatens right here.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then
but
this
instead
one is screaming for it, and then after this back air, like you don't need a double jump here. After this back air, you could just waveland off, you know? Right here. So you do this, and then right here, waveland off.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're instantly threatening Fox very quickly with this angle on him. And the nice thing is, let's say you're afraid of him like up smashing, okay? Like you're gonna come in like this with this wave dash off back air, and he's like, I don't care, I'm gonna dash in and up smash and try to trade with you. Then what you do is you just do wave dash off, double jump, wave dash off. This one. Wave dash off, double jump over his up smash, waveland off, punish.
Right.
And it's pretty fast too. Like, I'm just gonna show it really, really quick. Where like if I'm here and I do this and I'm threatening kind of like coming down in this range, or even a fast fall, which is a bit more like right here, then I can go, oops,
right.
Bad puff tech skill.
You couldn't really react to the up smash though, right? It's kind of just a guess, isn't it?
Well, it's yeah, obviously you can't react to him doing an up smash, but let's say, you know, it's a bait. It's basically a dash dance. Where, like, you're like, here, I'm coming down with this threatening option, and I might be doing, I might be doing this, you know, which goes all the way over here. And so they have to watch out for this, and at the same time, they have to watch out for this, and they have to watch out for the fast fall. And so they're sort of, I can't point to it, they're sort of expecting you to maybe be in this range a little bit, or even, you know, you can do stuff like this, you know, or like...
Yep.
Like that. And so they're expecting that, and so you can just come down and you have this whole little area to drift in here to do your little aerial dash dance like that. And so they're expecting that, and then you can just double jump off that platform and be right here. And have, like, just the fact that you have this whole range here is so strong, because, you know, if I'm doing this, up smash literally can't hit me.
Yeah.
And so during this whole range, I have this, and then I have that, and I can move around in this whole area and threaten this space, because the important part of the stage is the center, and it gives you the ability to mix up your double jump timing, double jump like approach timing, your waveland timing. You can like cross up the center multiple times as you're like dealing with this inner edge and then this inner edge, and Fox having to fight you like that rather than you kind of just like short hop bear or full hop bear while in the corner is pretty different.
Yeah.
You know?
That's what I usually do. Okay.
So this position, you need to be really careful not to shield here too much. You can get shield poked by the short hop up air in this position if your shield gets just a little bit smaller, I think. So a lot of times in a position like this, I'm very comfortable just like, I would prefer you like wave dash here. Like shield, and then you can just like wave dash off and like play that aerial game. Or you can also threaten like shield drop stuff, which is why Fox is trying to avoid that by just spamming spamming this up tilt here.
Tilt.
One thing you can do is, like, let's say you're here and you see him do this up tilt. You can just, like, wait for the second one and then just jump this way. And, like, kind of just reclaim the center. Because you want the center. If you want to be super, super safe, you can waveland off towards the corner, but you'll have to work your way back. But if you just sort of go towards the center, it'll just help you out. Like, Puff is so, especially in this matchup, is so center, like, heavy. Where, like, if you control the center, if Puff is here and Fox is in the corner, Fox feels miserable because he's like, okay, if I run in, or I can get grabbed. If I short hop in, I can get, wave dash back grabbed, or I can get back aired in the face. And then if I full hop, Puff is going to read it with, like, a full hop up air. He starts feeling the pressure. And then that's when you get a lot of those things where Puff will do, like, short hop, and then instead of fairing, they do short hop, fast fall, tomahawk, and then they'll do forward throw, and then they get their whole kill thing here.
Right.
Whereas, like, if you're in the corner and Fox is in the center, you don't have any pressure, because even if Fox is at, like, 80 or 90, you don't have any pressure, because the best thing you're going to hit Fox with, maybe a back air, a forward air, Fox will just slide off to the opposite ledge or tech. And then if you hit Fox with an up air at 80 or 90, it's too bad that Puff can't get anything off that, but you're not going to get anything, So you don't have anything. Like, the only thing Puff has when she's in the corner is back throw. And, back throw, a character like Puff, and her only move is back throw, does not beat Fox. That is, like, Puff with only back throw is a losing matchup against Fox.
Yeah.
And so that's why you want to be playing really heavily for control of the center, and this entire matchup revolves around control of the center, which is why these platforms are so much of a big deal. Sorry, somebody's messaging me on Facebook. Okay, kind of got Foxed on for a second. Yeah, and this type of stuff right here, this is okay. Dude, I thought I closed Facebook. Sorry. 1 second. Okay, sometimes I have multiple Facebooks open. Sorry for that. Okay, so you're trying to work your way back with these back airs. These are, like, okay, but you aren't... I don't know how to describe this. Let me... So, the reason Fox is okay lasering you here is because you're not pressing in. But if you press in, then they usually just wall you, right?
Yeah.
And
well, I'm scared of getting, like, up smashed if I drift too far in. I think that's why I'm kind of, like... I'm just kind of trying to be stationary and trying, like, waiting for a better time to drift all the way in.
Well,
I'm scared of
okay.
getting up smashed.
So you definitely don't want to drift in on the ground here, right? Because you're at kill percent. So an up smash could kill you here, maybe, probably. An up throw up air definitely kills you here. So, but the interesting thing is nothing kills you here.
Right.
Even if Fox full hop up airs you, which is, a pretty intense read when he's at 22, because if he misses, he'll get up air rested a lot of times in this position, or like up air tech chase rested. So he has a lot of risk, and this is a situation that comes up so much in the matchup, where Fox really wants a kill, but he's at a percent. Like, if Fox was at 0, I'd be terrified as Puff here. But if Fox is at 22, it's kind of like, well, if I'm on the platform, even if you went on the platform and taunted, unless he does like a full hop waveland, none of his moves can kill you at all. He does not have a killing option, but he does have an option. None of his options will kill you, but you have options that could kill him. And so even though you are, quote, like, scared of grab and up smash on the ground, thankfully Puff doesn't have to land. So you are in a position, like, it's just important to keep that in mind, that you're in a position here where, like, we can basically ignore his threats of up smash or grab on the ground. because you're never going to go there. Ever. There's no reason for you to ever be landing in this range when you're at kill percent. You should be playing basically entirely off the platforms and in the air. With the exception of maybe getting on the ground for 1 second and you're kind of trapped and you'll wave dash back and hope he whiffs or something. But you're not really wanting to get in that spot. So we can basically ignore this. So the game becomes, here's the platform. Fox, the only thing Fox can really hit me with up here is full hop aerials. And I am trying as Puff to find a tricky way to like get into a nice position on this platform or the inner edge of the other platform in a way that I can pressure Fox. Right. So when you're doing this, it's like, well, first of all, you never should have landed on the ground here because you're at kill percent. And so Fox is lasering here because he wants to get you to kill percent. But part of why he feels safe to do this is because you weren't pressing in fast enough. Like, you can press in all you want because the platform or because like allows you to have relative safety. If you lose a mix-up, you don't die.
I can press in and land on the platform.
Yeah, because you can't die out of it. So, this worked out okay. You took more damage than you had to. But yeah, so like look at this full hop nair that Fox does. This is pretty much all he's got here. And if this hits you, it doesn't do anything. And, if you had drifted better slightly on this, not saying you should have hit this. This was like a really difficult, but saying Puff could have technically dropped through and up-aired him right here and taken his stock. So... Fox has a lot more risks in this position than you do, and it's important to keep that in mind.
Okay.
And then, this is true for any character who doesn't have super fast ground movement. If you're Captain Falcon in this position, I'm like, thumbs up, you got it. But if you're Falco, Peach, Puff in this position, well, okay, so I see why you went for up air, but it's a little greedy. Because even if you trade at this percent, if you were at 0 and Fox is at 22, I'm up airing all day here. But you're at 60. So if you up air into his back air, even if you get the nice up air and he lands and he misses his tech, you're going to be too far away to do anything about it. So at this percent...
Why would I be too far away?
If you trade with his back air at 60?
I was just trying to straight up beat it.
Oh, you thought you were going to beat it?
Yeah.
Okay, well, no, you're just crazy then. Because there's no, like, Fox is too fast for that.
Okay.
So, like, basically, if you feel like there's some position where you somehow could have gotten this up air, I really don't think this was possible up air, like, at all. Maybe if you're really confident in it, but, like... I feel like he just had so many frames here that you did not have. Yeah, you have to enter your jump squat. You still have to get your up air started. Fox has no jump squat. He's just shield dropping and then back airing. What were you going to say?
Yeah. Yep. No, I was just going to say, I think it was just straight, like, me being greedy. It was kind of like, if I get it, it might be a stock. But if I don't get it, worst that happens is I get, like, back aired or something. So I think that was my thought process. But, yeah.
Yeah, so it's not overwhelmingly bad to think of an idea like that. So I'm not like saying you should never think like that, because as Puff, trading a back air for a possibility of the up air is not that bad. But I don't know. Maybe I'm just like a more conservative player in some ways. The way I think of this game is that, and I was explaining this to someone in a lesson a couple days ago, is that basically you want to win off of things you know, not things you don't know. So if you have certain mix-ups or you have certain ways to trick Fox, then you have to have like a way, like let's say nothing weird happens and you're just playing this very orderly strategic neutral. You probably have various mix-ups in mind. I'm going to empty land grab. I'm going to like try to trick Fox into full hopping and read him with my up air. I'm going to like wave dash back grab. Stuff like that. You have these ideas for like what will win. And the more you deviate from those, the less you are able to like adjust your game. That's not the best word. So basically, when something chaotic happens, like somebody accidentally rolls or they accidentally air dodge, it's very tempting to get this feeling of like, oh, I gotta go punish that really fast. But a lot of times it can create a chaotic situation where, like, in a situation like this, it's really hard to analyze later. Because you're like, oh, I kind of thought I had the frames, but I didn't, and it was a really weird spot where Fox was landing here. This isn't really in, like, the game plan. Yeah. It's kind of just like a random opportunity. And, you know, going for random opportunities, if you really feel it in your heart, you know, I'm not going to tell you not to. But a lot of times it's really hard to analyze something like this because it's outside of your game plan. And so my current mentality on the game in a lot of ways is that if you're in a situation that is chaotic, you should only participate in this if you're pretty sure you're going to lose the set straight up. Like, like if you think that your opponent is smarter, faster, cleaner, better, then you're like, well, maybe this chaotic situation will work out in my favor.
Yeah.
But if you think you are the better player and you're going to outplay them and you're going to win the mix-ups and you're confident you're baiting, basically if you think you are fundamentally superior, you don't want to take part in chaos. You want to leave and you want to beat them in the real game. So that's just something to keep in mind. And that's why in this position I would have probably preferred a roller like a wave dash back here. If you had wave dashed back, you would have been in a very safe position there. Oh, this is perfect. Look at what happened when you didn't do the same thing as the first stock. So you're kind of in a similar spot as the first stock, right? This is almost exactly where you were. But then you kind of you go slightly over full hop up air range, which is pretty critical in a lot of these spots, to be just slightly above full hop up air, which I'm glad you do. And Fox just kind of tries to make a read here, and you're like, oh, well, you missed me. And now you're over here, and, you know, you missed your fall through, it looks like. But you would have immediately made it back to your friendly inner edge here and been able to fight for center with no consequences. You didn't ever end up, you know, shielding in the corner over here.
Right.
And so that's sort of, this is more what you want to do in a spot like this where you're like, oh, okay, I'm safe. Like, I'm back. And you actually got an opening out of it. Oh, really good double jump by you. So, and yeah, so once you end up in this spot where you hit this, yeah, obviously, but but I'm not expecting you to hit everything like that, but the up air definitely would have been there if you could. Okay, these aren't bad back airs here. Necessarily, I would have been a little afraid of the Fox, like he could have just up smashed you right here. Like ASDI down up smash right here. But like I feel like you don't really have too much else you can do in that spot. You can go over Fox here, like I was talking about earlier, but I'm not super complaining about these back airs. Fox is kind of giving you some stuff, which is good. Great double jump out. You're just kind of resetting here. This is good. No, you had it. You had it. You got it, and I was like, oh yeah, like he won. And then you're like, I kind of like disadvantage more. And then you just get smacked, and then you're like, oh, why? And then look what happened when you came in high. Like,
I was just
you didn't even jump or do a mix-up. You just held in, and you got in for free. So this is basically what the problem that happened right here is that or not forgot because you didn't really know about it, but you started playing grounded, and it's like, hey, if you're too scared to play grounded at 60 because of up throw up smash or up throw up air and up smash, you shouldn't be playing grounded at 108.
Well, so actually I feel more comfortable once I hit like 100 or late 90s. I'm usually more comfortable grounded because I can just shield, and then like they can't, basically I'm not scared of up throw up air anymore, and if they down throw me I just DI back and I'm usually fine. So I'm usually okay with playing more grounded when I'm at higher percent, but I don't know if you think that's not a good idea.
I mean, you do get the shield, but like how active is that, you know? Like Puff isn't exactly known for her ability to like burst out of shield and attack Fox across the stage. Like, yeah, you might be able to like you might be able to shield and up smash every now and then and get like a kill. But it's like, even if you were at 0, I wouldn't necessarily like you playing kind of grounded in the matchup. It's more like when you're at the up air and kill percent, you almost never want to land ever. And at lower percents, you can land because you want your like up air mix-ups and your short hop empty land mix-ups. But at a percent like this, you basically, by playing grounded and like shielding, like there's no way that this shield is gonna get you a good position like here. You know, like that's impossible. But if right here you went for this waveland off the platform, and then Fox needs to either avoid your back air or he has to fish for an up air in the middle, which you can do waveland off. One thing I forgot to mention is you can do waveland off, double jump this way, waveland off, and it creates a little dash dance effect here.
Yep.
So basically, by being on the ground, you're giving up your ability to like diagonally move in and pressure Fox. That is essentially it. So, like, yeah, you kept yourself mostly safe, but you're also in, like, a range where he can, jab you and, like, stuff like that. And the most important idea that I want to get across for this little section is, so Fox is at 70. There was not a single point in this entire sequence from you coming back here to you dying where you even had a possible chance to kill Fox or threaten anything. Like, there were no threats. There was this back air, and notice that if you were in center and Fox was in the corner, right here, he might have gone off stage, and you might literally take his stock. But if you're in the corner and you're doing this, yeah, sure. If Fox is in the corner and you want to play a little bit more grounded at high percent, be my guest. But if you're in the corner and stuff like that, like, this isn't ever going to get you anything. So Fox gets, like, an infinite number of chances. And all you're basically doing here is you're like, maybe one more of these. And it's like, okay, that still doesn't do anything. This Nair doesn't do anything. And then you die. And so it's like, whatever you're going to do, it can't be what you just did. Because that didn't include any possible threats for Fox. And that's why your mobility is so important. Because mobility creates threats. It moves Fox to the corner out of fear, and suddenly you're playing from the center into the corner, and then you have shield, wave dash back, short hop back air, tomahawk grab. All that stuff becomes actually good. Okay. Not bad up airs. You're basically just getting him to kill percent. You're like, well, I threw this stock away. Time to put Fox at 130 and kill him. So now, yeah, you basically just kind of, like, mentally give up, it seems like. So
go ahead.
Well, okay. What were you going to say?
No, I think this is kind of where I'm struggling, because I'm trying to kill him, and it looks like I'm trying to get a knockdown, just so I get an opportunity to kill him, so I, like, start throwing out these nairs. They don't work, and then he just racks up percent, and I think I just get...
Okay, so first of all, this first up air is not too bad, but there's not really great logic for continuing to up air. There can even be an argument made for maybe this second one, but at this point, why not just, back air here or something? There's also the option here of if you think he was going to come down. It almost looks like you knew he was going to come down with an aerial. But if you knew this, wave dash, forward smash.
Yep.
I also haven't seen any forward smash attempts, like, at all.
Yeah, I very rarely forward smash, just because every time I do it, I just get punished, which probably means I'm just doing it in the wrong,
Yeah, it's not particularly... It's mostly in spots like that, where Fox is falling, and then he's like, haha, if I fall right onto her, none of her, like, back air and fair and stuff, they can't hit me because I'm right on top of her. Worst she can do is up air, and then you wave dash forward smash. That's kind of like, or Fox tries to, like, full hop drill you, stuff like that. Or full hop back air, wave dash forward smash is good against that. It's not it's not useful in like a super wide variety of situations. There are a few situations where you need to have it or you lose out on the ability to kill, like up here on the platform. So this stuff is okay, but I think you are giving Fox, I don't know how to describe this. It's like you're simultaneously like being too aggro and then also giving Fox the space. And it's hard to like describe that. So for instance, like you're in this position here, and like from this position, it's hard to say it, but Puff can't do anything to Fox here. Like if you hit Fox with your moves here, he goes to the edge. So you don't really want to fight in this spot too much. I would say you could maybe go for like a Waveland off here or something, or just kind of switch up the position a little bit and like kind of just wait for something to happen. So you're kind of like going in with these aggro fares, and then you jump in, but then as soon as Fox comes in, you're not continuing to pressure. Like Fox is in the corner. If you back air the shield here and you drift correctly, you can't really even be punished for it.
Right.
But you drift all the way back, which is like, okay, I guess. And then you nair here. And so now you're in this spot where you get this safe back air, which is good. But then you dashed in after it. So it's like this weird combo of like, you're like, I know I need to hit him. But also there aren't any good opportunities to hit him. So I guess I'll just try, I guess. And it's kind of like, whoa. It's like you have the threat to kill Fox if he jumps, but not as much if he's on the ground. You can maybe get the back air if he's on the ground, but if he's ready, he'll just get the tech. It's kind of like you just need to wait for your opportunity a little bit more and be a little bit more picky with like the spots you're playing in. Like,
right.
And when you get a pressure, recognize that like, yes, I have center. This is my time to actually pressure Fox. Like your time to be aggro is not when you're in the corner. When you're in the corner, it's your time to like slowly poke around and see what Fox is up to, and maybe he'll jump at you stupidly and you'll get a kill.
Yeah.
And then when you find that nice position, that's when you can go in a little bit more, pressure a little bit harder, and not. You don't want to just give that up right away. So then you kind of end up in this spot where he's kind of beating on you, and then he's kind of getting the lasers, and you're like, oh no.
That's like a desperate bear. If you saw that, I'm just like,
and he's just kind of circle camp and stuff. But you gotta realize Fox does not feel like he is. It almost feels like you feel like you can't win if you ever get behind. Because even when you got like the slightest disadvantage, Fox was at like 80 on 3 stocks, and he took the stock, and then you're at 2 stocks at 0, and I could already feel you're like, if I don't kill Fox in the next 10 seconds, I might as well DQ, you know?
That's
like,
exactly what I'm thinking, yeah.
And it's kind of like, it's, because I can see it. And it's kind of like, okay, like, calm it down. Like, from the Fox end, that is not how this matchup feels. From the Fox end, it's hard to kill Puff pretty much all the time, unless you're on FD. And you don't want her to give it, like, or like, you're kind of hoping she gives it to you for free. And there's a lot of spots where, like, I don't know, I just feel like we've all seen so many, like, clutch box moments. Not even just HBox, but, like, the other Puffs, too, where, like, you can be at high percent on 2 stocks. Like, if Puff is at, like, 9... Let's say Puff is slightly above up air range. Let's say Puff is at 95. And at that percent, Fox has just lost his second stock. So now he has 2 stocks at 0%. And he comes back, and you avoid his invincibility, and you clip him with a nair. So now Fox is at, what, 9? Fox is at 9%, and you are at 95, and you are just sort of very safely moving on the platforms looking for like a rest. Like Fox in that position does not feel like particularly like, yeah, I totally won the match for free. He's like, don't get rested, don't get rested, don't get rested, don't get rested. Like that's how it feels from the Fox end. You're like, please don't get rested. So as long as you are not down a huge amount, like it's okay. Like it's okay to play Puff slow and steady, because you only die early if Fox either ultra super duper hard reads you, and in that case, if you had done the same to him, he would have gotten rested at like 2%. And so that's kind of irrelevant. Or you drift into an easy kill, like an easy early kill. Like up air still doesn't kill you at this percent if he just jumps up and up airs you. So you would need to give him something really juicy for him to kill you here. And so it's kind of okay. Like you just kind of play safe, kind of play up in the air on the platforms. Just try to, like, it's okay to play the game. Just because you're behind does not mean Fox auto wins the game. And because the match doesn't progress. And if Fox if you're just moving around and Fox is moving around, you're not getting further behind. The only way that Fox could even possibly increase the gap is either win an interaction, which he shouldn't really be able to do if you're playing pretty safe, or he can laser you. But if when he lasers you, he gives up space, which is really important. Yep. Because when he gives up space from the lasering, and especially if you're using these side plats, and he's lasering right here, if you just waveland off of it, he's already threatened from lasering. So if he over lasers, he's opening himself up to like that situation where he's like, I got 18 laser damage. And it's like, yeah, and Puff killed you, you know? And so he doesn't want that situation. And so it's just, you aren't going to fall behind as quickly as you think if you play safe. But if you play like, I'm so behind, like, you already know that you're not going to win the match playing like that. Puff, who admits to herself, I cannot make it back without a nice, easy, like, if I don't get this kill now, I'm losing. That is the ultimate situation for Fox. You're just like, oh, free win.
Okay, so kind of just don't force it.
Yeah, okay, so like take a look at this spot. You got with all these lasers, you got hit with one laser. Literally one laser. And, you know, and this was Fox throughout this back air. If you had maybe been in a slightly different position, you could have killed him for this back air, or at least, you know, hit him off stage.
Right.
And so just the fact that, like, you just avoided the lasers and you're kind of just continuing to play the game, he's going to be vulnerable in different positions. And yes, he's vulnerable there. You don't need to, like, see, the Fox is still doing stuff. And so while the Fox is still doing stuff, you can, you know, Fox has to continue to play the game as long as Puff moves around. That's kind of her thing, is she gets passive threats. She gets, like, minor threat, but from a position of total safety. And so as long as you keep doing that, and you just kind of maintain the very passive, safe pressure, you will eventually get an opening. And now when Fox comes back, and you're at 87 and Fox is at 0, this is a little scary. Fox almost has this feeling of, like, I need to kill Puff really quickly, because if Puff gets a hit on me, then she could get a rest, and suddenly Puff is at 2 stocks 87 platform camping, and Fox is at 1 stock 0%.
Yeah.
Oh, bad EI. Okay.
Yeah.
So that was exactly what Essie was looking for there. She was like, I'm just gonna hit the back air, and then the nod, yes. It's just like that is like all she was hoping for there.
Yeah. We both nodded. We were like, yeah, that was another goal.
And so this is not a position you want to be in right here, right above Fox in the middle, because you don't have direct access to any of the platform. Like, from this position, your double jump doesn't reach the top plat, and you can't reach the side platforms. And so all of those nice, like, quick movement options and, like, all the little, like, timing mix-ups and stuff that you can do are suddenly gone, and you basically have a threat of, like, nothing. Like, from here, you know, you have no threats at all. And so that's why Fox is able to just throw moves out here and get you like that. Okay, and this is part of, like, why lasers are a little scary for Fox. They open him up to stuff like that. Okay, the reverse up smash. I like the drift behind grab. I think that was completely acceptable there. this is something that's really common with Puff, and you have to watch out for a lot, is when you barely miss, your opponent, like, whether it's you full hop back or over their head, anything, when you barely miss, you need to be like, my opponent is going to try to hit me. When Puff barely misses, there's this little thing of, like, dopamine in, like, the other person's head, where Puff kind of whiffs, and they're like, Puff is in her lag animation, and she's almost within hitting distance. Like, I need this. Like, I feel that every single time Puff whiffs near me, and I try to punish her for it. And the thing is, they have good reason to believe that, because you can't hit them. Like, when Fox, when you barely miss, it's time to run away. And so the fact that you drift back in here to go for the second back air is completely playing into, like, the most obvious thing that Fox wants.
Got it.
Which is Puff early whiff into continuing to stay in my general vicinity. And so this is a big part of why I don't support playing on the ground here. Is, so on one hand, Fox is... This is a complicated situation, kind of. So on one hand, Fox is in the corner, in a spot that you like. So if Fox was doing this and you were both at 4 stocks, 0%, you'd be like, yeah, come here, Fox, and you'd be totally down to go over there and attack Fox. But in this position, Fox is lasering, 2 stocks, 25. You can die to a grab or an up smash. I am totally fine with you, like, not aggressively taking this, like, center versus corner position here. So I'm totally okay with you moving away, but okay, so this is an important detail. If you are in this range, below the side plat, Fox gets to laser you with his short hop. But if you were on the side plat here, Fox doesn't get to laser you with the short hop at all. He either has to full hop onto the platform, putting him out of position a little bit, because the grounded options don't exist anymore. Can't quickly move around this space in the center. And alternatively, if he jumps and fires his lasers here, or jumps and, like, falls through the platform, you get a big, like, let's say Fox is here and does full hop laser and you waveland off the platform. That's an opening. Like, if Fox does 2-2-2 and drops right here and you waveland it off there, that's like a grab or something. So, like, the higher Fox goes up while lasering, the more risk he is taking, basically, because it takes him longer to come down. And so if you're letting Fox fire lasers at you in this range, Fox can, like, he can do so with almost absolutely no risk. And that is the issue there.
And he can react easier too, right?
Exactly.
Like, he just has more options to react.
Yeah, so he's in a great. So Fox is in a great spot here, getting his, like, lasers. Yeah, I get a bunch of lasers for free, and, like, none of these lasers would have hit you if you had just been hanging out in this range here. And you can even threaten an approach off of this. And so this is another issue with not playing on the platform, is if you were on the platform right here, when Fox jumps up here, this is actually a nice full hop up air. Yeah, you see it instantly of, like, ooh, Fox is going to land here and I get my nice up air. But because you're here, the top platform becomes this safe haven for Fox. Whereas from here, you can go down, you can go up, you have all this space covered. So when Fox goes up here, you're kind of stuck in this really annoying spot where they get to drop on you. And you don't want this, where Fox is able to drop on you, and that is what ends up coming out of it.
So I guess the reverse, if like you just said, if Fox is on the platform like that, and I'm underneath the platform, is that just like a not great position for Puff in general? I should just try to get out of there as soon
like
as
right
possible.
here, kind of.
Yeah.
I would not play this. Ideally, you'd be able to get to the center, but honestly, I would probably just go out here and kind of play this. Come up here, waveland off this outer edge, because the nice thing about the waveland here is you can kind of work your way around, and then you finally get back. And it's kind of frustrating. It's kind of like, I don't know how to describe it. Like, you can leave through your front door, but then, like, the front door is locked from the outside, so you have to walk all the way around your house to get back in. And it's kind of, like, annoying, but it's like, oh, man, like, Fox kind of got this position where he's centralized, and like I thought I was centralized, but now I'm kind of locked in the corner, and he's here, and it's like, oh, fine, and you, okay, now we're playing the game again, and like that's just kind of the price you pay for letting him get you in this bad spot, is you kind of have to go through all these motions and like battles just to get back to neutral where you were 2 seconds ago. But it's kind of like when your internet goes out and you keep mashing refresh, you're like, it was just there, you know? And that's kind of how this is like, you're like, I just had a good position, why do I suddenly have to work so hard to get back to neutral? And it's because you gave up this critical spot where, like, if you were right here, you know, I would suggest a wave dash this way or a roll this way and you'd be fine. But from this position, a roll this way still gets you still die. So you just have to go the really long route, sadly.
Got it.
Because otherwise you're forced to make it anyway when Fox traps you in the corner and hits you. Like after this is like...
instead? What did I do instead when I got hit there?
Probably shielded. Oh, you tried to jump back,
like,
yeah, it looks like. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, that was overall pretty good. I'm not a huge fan of going in with the drill here. I would have preferred just jumping up like this, maybe kind of mixing up between landing here and kind of hooking around and wave landing back this way. But the drill's not overly bad. Fox is not going to read an up smash there, and if you managed to get like an opening out of that, it would have been great. I think Fox is a little bit too low of %. And now, yeah, oof, yeah. This is almost just like, okay, you've been in a bad position for a long time. You shielding, so you're in an even worse position. Your shield is getting tiny. You know, eventually there's nothing you can really do. So you kind of just lost at that point.
Yeah.
Okay. This is such an interesting stage for this matchup, and I still don't know what I think about it. I go back and forth so much on this stage about, like, who does well here or why. I think it's still really important to use the same edges of the platform, but then sometimes you end up in spots like this where, like, Fox can kind of short hop you, and, like, it's almost beneficial to maybe like go to the other side plat to really fight because it's like a little higher and stuff like that. I'm not a huge fan of this stage in general with like how much crazy difference, you know, like if this platform is at a height where the short hop up air can hit you and then it moves up to a height where it can't or something, it's now suddenly like a completely different matchup. So, okay, and I remember I did, like, some analysis of H-Box. I think it was in my analysis of H-Box versus Cody. I went into some thoughts I had for, like, during the Fountain game on, like, Fountain-specific game plan, which for whatever reason I can't perfectly remember right now, but I remember I was going over some Fountain specifics with the platforms.
Okay.
So, yeah, sorry about that. I just can't... I can't remember exactly what I said, but I remember
fine,
it was good.
I'll find it. I think someone posted it in the Jigglypuff chat.
Okay. Yeah, I think, but playing around this outer edge of the platform, I think is definitely good. This stage is just really hard because it's so little. It's just really frustratingly small. But all the other big stages are, like, perfectly designed to favor Fox, so... except for Dreamland. Like, Stadium and FD are both, like, ugh. Like, the one nice thing about this stage being small is that, first of all, like, your movement off the platforms covers a lot of the stage.
Yeah.
And at the same time... like, your moves are also stronger. Like, if Fox is at this % and he full hops and you back air him from, like, right here, the chances that he goes off stage and has to recover are way higher here than on, say, like, Battlefield. Yeah, like, that dash attack is so much stronger here. Wow, great forward air.
Yeah, that was sick.
That was, like, really, really good. So it's impressive.
I have one moment of genius per set. Guaranteed, at least.
Okay, not a bad attempt at all. Okay, stuck in... Okay. honestly totally fine there. Okay, really good invincibility and waiting for the invincibility. Okay, so this is one of those spots, and I've noticed this a little bit about your play, is just that you like prefer a more versatile position, which is generally good game sense, but when you have a read, you have a tendency to like, well, I know I made this read, but also I kind of want to like still maintain a versatile position, you know? And it's kind of like, as like Puff isn't really that type of character. Puff is either like the character where she's just like completely safe, you'll never catch me, very passive pressure, or like completely balls to the wall, like I'm gonna crouch behind you and then full hop up air read to try to get a rest, you know?
Right.
Those are kind of like her two modes, and it's she doesn't excel at the middle ground. So like a position like this is like just the fact that I feel like you kind of read Fox coming off the platform with this back air, but then you're like, well, a solid, fairly safe option. I am making sure in the future that every single Facebook window is closed because I do not know why I have like 4 Facebooks open and I'm just stupid. But okay, so the issue here is like you're in the middle ground where you're like, I'm making kind of a risky read by interacting with Fox falling on me with a back air. Kind of risky in the sense you'll take damage, but at the same time, you're not going for like a rest, you know? So it's kind of like you're in this weird middle ground where you're like, I have a little bit of risk and a little bit of reward. And it's kind of like, no, like, he can't kill you at this %.
Yeah.
If you're gonna take some sort of a read, it needs to come with like $1 million payoff. So like going for, if you had just wave dashed away here and then gone for a grab, this is like a classic grab. But because you go for this kind of conservative back air, it doesn't get you anything, despite the fact that you got a read.
So I think what I was trying to do, and I go for this sometimes, but it like almost never works out, is a short hop bear cross up and then grab them from behind, but like just basically bear through them, grab. But
well, you're a crazy person. That's not real at all.
It doesn't really work when you're playing someone good.
So yeah, no, that's just
gone for a higher probability option like wave dash away grab or even crouch cancel grab. I could have done there probably.
Yeah, no, definitely. And so yeah, in addition to all the previous stuff that we've talked about, and like this is kind of the thing that I think we can end on. Is that it's just, it doesn't have like a big payoff to it. And so I think you need to draw the line a lot clearer, because a lot of the issues that we've gone into are you sort of flirting with that middle territory of like a little risky, but I kind of cover these 3 or 4 options with a back air or something like that, you know. And it's kind of like, it's just you know, you got to kind of go for it either way, where either it's very safe passive pressure, or like, I think Fox is gonna, you know, run in at me, so I'll wave dash back grab. And sometimes HBox takes this a little too far, where you'll see him like wave dash back triple grab.
yeah.
But doing that would be like better than what you're doing now.
Got it.
Even though it's not clearly not very good, it's still like, well, I'm at a low enough % that Fox can't kill me, and I've already determined that I'm going for a risk. Any risk you do should either have on the flip side either, you know, critical damage, like 0 to, you know, taking Fox from 0 to 12 or whatever, so you can kill him, or a big payoff, either like a combo or like a rest or something. And yeah, there's just a lot of those little middle ground. Maybe I'll hit him with a back air, or he'll hit me with a back air against Fox type of thing, where it's just it doesn't line up with the strengths of your character.
Got it. Okay.
So
kind of don't waffle between the two of like trying to play safe or go, balls to the wall. Just
yeah, like it's a switch. It's one or the other.
One or the other in certain situations.
And sort of the thing that's so good about Puff is like it's just like she has the ability to passively threaten the psychopath Puff for as long as she wants while being safe. So you can do these Waveland off platform mix-ups and kind of just very lightly pressure and just kind of lightly suggest that someday you're going to burst in like a psychopath and go for a rest. But not today, but maybe someday. And then they go, oh, back for the usual back air retreat, huh? And you're like, yeah, here I go, arrested! That's kind of like the way the character works. And then you're just like, jumping on their dead body. Like, that's Puff. It's less like extreme aggression or extreme defense.
Okay.
But okay, I think we're about at an hour. If you have any final thoughts, let me know now, or questions. Okay, great.
That's helpful, yeah.
Awesome. So let me know how this works out for you. If you have any additional questions, feel free to hit me up, and I'll send you my payment info.
All right.
All right. Sounds good.
Do you upload these somewhere?
Yes, they'll be uploaded on YouTube. My internet was having a lot of trouble recently, where I had trouble streaming or uploading. So I have like a big backlog of like 15 lessons or something that I haven't uploaded yet. But like realistically, now that my internet seems to be fixed and I'm streaming again, I could upload all of those in like a day or something. So I will definitely upload it. In the meantime, it is on Twitch. The Twitch VOD is there.
Okay. Yep.
Although I put the initial title is with Oklahoma Ollie until I realized that's not your real tag. So that's the VOD you're gonna be looking for on Twitch.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. Awesome. All right. I'll talk to you later, man.
Yeah. Thanks.
Peace.